Hello and welcome back to a new Rage Gaming video. Today we're taking a look at the recently released Neoverse, the deck building roguelite compared to say Hearthstone or even more accurately Slay the Spire, with its own twists and additions to the genre. This video is sponsored by SK Telecom, the publishers of the game, but they simply asked us to check out the game, talk about the core aspects, tell you where you can get the game, and even gave us some codes to give away. With that, it seemed like a good fit for the channel, so let's take a look. The main premise of Neoverse is that strategic turn-based gameplay, in which we're using our character to overcome battles of increasing difficulty. By using the decks linked to our character, progressing and unlocking new skills, and maximizing the random cards offered throughout, you'll progress the story and attempt to beat the game. All set in a 3D fantasy world, sci-fi in nature, with hundreds of cards, monsters, items, skills, and rewards set in a roguelike system. All of that should appeal to a fan of the genre, and you can check out the game on their official Steam page or the Xbox Game Pass, which will be linked in the description, so please go use those so they know we sent you. They've also asked us to let you know about the official Neoverse Discord, also linked in the description, so you can go there and learn more about the game and talk with others in the community. They've recently launched some new DLC skins for the characters, 3 of which are out on PC. The Cyberpunk, the Hotbreak, and Schoolgirl costumes are all available, but as part of the sponsorship, they've given us multiple codes to give away for these costumes. So I'm going to drop all 5 codes somewhere throughout this video for you to spot and use if you're fast. With all of that said, let's talk about how the game works, what it brings to the table, and what I think about it. As we jump into the main adventure mode of the game, we'll be facing off against waves of enemies with our current deck and progression as we go. There's going to be about 15 enemies to work through, with a final boss fight at the end of the 5 stages we go through. To begin with, we'll be offered a set of cards from the deck to choose our actions in a turn-based setup, overcoming those enemies with clever use of what we've randomly pulled from that deck and the situation we're in. The decks we're using are set around the characters and build you decided from the very start of the run, and you'll steadily progress the deck with new unlocks like character skills or new cards suited to the deck you've chosen. Since each of the 3 characters come with totally different playstyles, and there's a massive amount of cards in the original decks before you even get going, there's a lot of strategy around choosing what's going to be best in that moment. This is, after all, a roguelike, and therefore you could be dealt a bad hand or a poor setup to begin with and lose a run early on if you're not able to adapt quickly. On that note, you can actually get cards that are from any other deck through clever use of the shop. This is probably going to be the best new mechanic for this genre in this game, the simple ability to access the shop at any time. Whatever it is you're doing, you can always access items, skill points, or importantly, new cards that you could need at that moment by pulling up the shop. This is very interesting when you consider mid-combat use of the shop to suddenly pull out exactly what you might need, like a second potential inventory to rely on in dire moments or to maybe maximize your gameplay. Importantly, that shop can also be re-rolled or renewed at scaling cost to rotate in a new selection which might suit your needs better, which is honestly perfect for this kind of setup. Often the hand you can be dealt could be awkward or bad, right? And you need a clutch card to save you. Therefore, the option of a shop could be a game changer for you. Each turn, we're going to have 5 SP to spend, with each of the cards costing somewhere between 0 to 4, depending on the power of that card. And you'll need to pay attention to what the enemies are doing. With their attacks being telegraphed and often forewarned, you can see what they're planning and then make your choices based on that. Plus, those enemies can also add cards to your deck that could be negative, like the ability to prevent you from attacking or even being able to defend, so it's important to be aware of what they're doing. When it comes to game progression, I think it's pretty straightforward, very streamlined to get straight to the point, which makes it easier to pick up and get into. Linear battles that you're going to progress through until you make it to the end and defeat that final battle. But what's interesting about these different stages of these battles is how you get to choose what you go up against. You'll need to complete like 5 battles to complete the set, but you get to choose what you're going against and also the potential rewards with that. Before each fight, you get various types of battles to swap between, depending on what you think you can handle right now or the rewards you might want. Plus, the game is also going to continually hand out quests to you to complete as you play for rewards, and maybe in the current battle or even set of battles, you can't quite complete the quest you just got, but quests stay with you and progress into other battles. And since these quests are permanent, you could even intentionally stack up quests that align with each other to complete a bunch all in one go. The skill tree functions like a permanent power-up system you can improve based on your own choices. By simply playing the game and progressing your battles and quests and otherwise, you gain skill points to spend on those permanent upgrades to your character, letting you build a playstyle that suits you as you unlock new possibilities or smooth out your current setups. I think that caters to the genre pretty well. You have your hand you're dealt, but you improve and change the playstyle based on what you enjoy or maybe what you think is best. And that should encourage various character builds to go with the many different cards and effects. Speaking of those characters though, you do choose between a few characters to start with and build around, letting you complete the game with one setup and then try again with a totally new one. The characters each come with their own starting deck to choose between. Each of these have a style to play in mind that you then go on to manipulate through progression and skill trees. Many core builds will be familiar, like say poison damage to deal damage over time, called radiation in this game, or the lifesteal build called vampiric state, where you fight to recover health through damage. Maybe you want to try out the summoner playstyle, in which you protect your character and then have summon monsters do your fighting for you. As it stands though, there are just 3 starting characters with the various decks to pick from, but it certainly does seem like we could see new additions, be it new decks or other characters in the future. And because we have skill trees and RNG involved in a roguelike, we unlock more and change the way we're playing as we go each and every time we start a new run. The story, however, of Neoverse is a bit all over the place because of its setup. Since we're progressing through a literal multiverse, we're going to be jumping in and around very different environments and fighting against radically different monsters depending on where we actually are. The idea is that the 3 main characters are coming from their own universes and are teaming up to fight the monsters and attempt to save the world. It is a simple and straightforward concept that sets up the battles and lets us swap environments as we go, but it definitely takes a back burner to the actual gameplay. Since Neoverse has several difficulty settings for when you're ready for a real challenge, once you understand the core of the game, there's a lot of replayability that comes with that. Lastly, let's talk about the visuals, which stand out pretty hard here. What a lot of people might refer to here as anime, which can come in many forms. This is a 3D style that's very different to the other games of the genre, whatever you think. Between the characters, the armor, the many enemy designs, I think it's all bright and clear, while the animations definitely get to the point without many long-winded spectacles, which certainly can look awesome the first time, but not so much when you've done it the 5,000th time. So I'm very glad they got to the point quickly in Neoverse. It's also pretty important to highlight the nature of these visuals. It's clearly designed with a type of player base in mind. The clothing of the characters does get damaged and even destroyed at lower healths, so that's something to be aware of. To give you an idea of how the game plays out, let's just play for a couple battles in my current build and let you see how this game actually looks and how it works. Okay, so let's jump into some live commentary, do some actual gameplay here. We're just about to go into another set here, so we have a choice between a normal battle, elite battle, or another normal battle. Let's try the elite battle. Let's make it interesting. So this is going to be a bit more difficult than your regular battle, but we have our shop ready to go right now. It's completely fresh. And as you can see, it's a futuristic lady versus some orc dudes. This guy has a lot of health, 80 health, and he's about to do 10 damage if we look at that. What's this guy doing? Blue blood transfusion. Recover a random companion's HP by 8. Now, does he heal himself or heal his companion? It seems like he'll heal his companion, so I should go for the weaker one first. So let's start dealing some big damage. As soon as we can, dealing radioactive damage is going to deal damage over time like poison. So we want to get that rolling as fast as possible. And I'm definitely going to want some armor because this guy's about to do 10 damage. Enhanced magazine gives me a bit of damage to use and gives me armor at the same time. So if I pop both of them, I'm up to 13 armor now, so that 10 damage should be blocked. And then we'll keep piling our damage into the weaker guy. We have a bit more radioactive damage to put on him. And we'll just do a raw attack. Okay, so that's all of our mana used. Alright, he's down to 18. Yeah, look at that. So he does heal his companion. I read that right. Good to know. Alright, what we got? Blind Troll is trying to do something. Eye for an eye. Remove all armor from the player and inflict 1 amplify to the player. Amplify means they take 50% more damage until the next turn. So that's really bad. And it means if I waste my time building up armor, he's just going to strip it. It'd be interesting to know who's going to attack first. Like, will this guy do his 10 damage? Then my armor will be stripped, so it's worth blocking. Or is it not going to matter? He's just going to strip it. I guess we'll just see. I've got 3 armor to find out. Right, what we got? We got Barrage, shoot card every time we draw. That's pretty good. Radioactive card. That will be really good against big health like this. And then rapid shooting. Right now, I think what we need to do is not worry about stacking up poison on the weak guy and just finish him off. And we're not going to build armor. So, Barrage is going to be good. Because I'm going to get a lot of shoots out. Let's start working on him. Rapid shot. Does a bit of damage to both of them. We're out of mana. He's on 7 health. He's going to take 2, so down to 5. Very, very close. Ah, we look at that. So, it's left to right then. This guy dealt is 10 damage. And then the guy stripped my armor. So, armoring for his hit would have been fine. As long as I was just planning around his damage. Anyway, need to kill him before he gets his next 10 armor. And this guy's going to do... Bloody hell. 10 damage. Maybe twice. Alright, so we definitely want to armor up for him if we can. And getting some dots on him as soon as possible will be good. Alright, let's do it. So let's finish this guy. He's going to take 1 damage from poison. So this should kill him. He should just die to radioactive. Everything else should go now into the big boy. So I'd like to get some radioactive effects on him as soon as possible. But I think for now we just have to do raw damage. We don't have any good radioactive, so let's just keep hitting him. Alright, so logically this guy's dead, right? Aha, there we go. Okay, great, he's dead. Still 15 damage I wasn't able to block because I didn't build any armor. Now I've got some armor to build. What are you going to do? Remove all armor and then inflict decay, so I'm going to take damage over time. That's fine. So there's no point putting the armor on after all. And then we're also just going to get him poisoned and kill him. So yeah, great. Get some poison on him, get some radioactive. Stack that up. So 4 damage a tick. We're just going to raw damage. No point putting any of this armor on if he's just going to strip it. Cool. So good damage. Not armored up. Let's see how bad this is. There goes my armor that I didn't put on. Okay, great. This is great. He didn't actually deal any damage. So next he's going to do big 10. Can we kill him before he does that? Free up our hand. Can we get some more armor? Yes, awesome. Okay, we just pulled enough armor to block this 10 damage hit fully. We are still taking damage over time, though. But we do have a lot of buffs going right now to keep giving us damage to him. So right now he's taking 5 damage every single turn. Down to 3 now. We block that full hit. Sick. Alright, is it worth it to really keep piling on the radioactive damage? He's like nearly dead. He's on 21. Alright, deal 3 damage twice. That's pretty good. 6 damage. A 3 shoot. He's low. 3 damage from the radioactive. Another 3 shot. So he's down to 6 right now. Oh, hell yeah. We got the double hit. He's on 3 health. He's got 3 damage from radioactive. I don't even need to finish him myself. Let the bleed do it. Let the poison do it. Sick. Alright, cool. So every time you do actually win a battle, as you can see, we've taken some nasty damage. It may have not been wise to start this set against an elite boss. But whatever, we get some gold, skill points, and an item. Recover health, that's going to be important. And then we can choose between 3 cards. We have Blade Shield. Deal 1 damage to all enemies whenever you play a defend card. Honestly, I think Blade Shield seems really good. So I'm going to take that. Bear in mind, by the way, this whole time, I can jump into my shop, like I was saying. And in the middle of those, I could grab one of these cards. Or reroll for something different. I could go for an item that could be really useful, like AoE here. You know, clutch damage, a heal. Cool. So then we go into the next set. And this is where we can then, again, choose what battle we are going to go into next. So in this case, I've got normal battle and then the reward of the item. Or I could go for either of these elite battles. I definitely want to go for a normal battle, though. After that, let's take a bit of an easier fight. So I'm actually going to heal as well. I may as well, since I'm a little bit hurt. And I've got this to rely on as well if we need to. They're pretty weak. Cannot use attack type cards. He's got fear. Interesting. And then he's going to regenerate health. Let's not worry about damaging him then if he's just going to regen. And let's really pile everything into this dude on the left. A rapid shot. Get some radiation cards. There's my overloads. Keep shooting. I can shoot and gain some armor at the same time for later turns. Alright, cool. They're not actually attacking here, are they? No. See, he regens. There's no point doing damage to him. Getting 3 health a turn. But next he's going to do 5 damage times 2. I have the armor for that. This guy's going to armor up. If we could kill him before he armors up, that'd be nice. He's taking 1 damage from the radiation. Let's put that to 3. We have Blade Shield. Deal 1 damage to all enemies whenever you play a defend card. Perfect. If we can pull a defend card, that'd be great, but that's prepped. He's not going to die. He's going to get that armor on. Let's just put some radiation on him in prep for other turns then. So even though, yeah, he's going to armor up, at least I still have the radiation damage coming through. This guy's nearly done regenning. This is insane. Having a way to remove that would be really nice. He's going to do 12 damage. He's doing 9 damage. And he's going to heal his teammate. So we have to finish this guy off. Also, this is going to be a really nasty hit. So we have to get through 23 total health. Oh, man. Having a cleanse armor would be really good. This is a bad spot I'm in. We'll put more radiation on him. Enhanced magazine, great. Deals damage and also gives me armor. I'm going to need as much as possible. More radiation damage. He's going to take 5 damage here. If we could do 5 more, that'd be enough. We can. Look. 3. And then 3. So he just dies. Fantastic. Without getting the heal from his ally. And therefore, we're not taking this 12 damage. Perfect. And I just blocked this whole hit. So now his regen is like almost done. He's just going to do it again. We just have to work our way through it, it seems like. He's not actually going to attack, so we don't need to worry too much about putting armor on. But it does do a damage now that we have that effect on. And we get a shot, so it's not that big a deal. As long as I get to attack at the same time. Just keep going on him. We don't have much options here. We got 5 damage. Whoa, it's so close, dude. It's so close. Yeah, he's going to take 1 damage too little. Look, he's going to survive and then heal. Ah, that sucks. Oh my god, that's so much healing. We need a way to cleanse regeneration. That's really important to be aware of. As I'm going for my first playthrough, seeing mechanics like that and going, oh, right, that's how that works. But what I could do is I could pull up the shop and see if there's a way for me to cleanse that. Is there a destroy regen or anything like that item? Not really, but I could actually pull a grenade, right? Think about it. Oh, I could have done that. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's so obvious. I could have bought that from the shop during that attack, during that move, and used the grenade to finish him off. I was 1 damage too little. Well, there's 8 damage that I had available, technically, if I'd bought that and used it. That's learning a game, though. What can you do? All right, let's finish him off. He's dead. Come on. Come on. 7 damage. Rapid shot. Perfect. 7 when he's got 4 health. He's done. He's done. Awesome. Oh, and I got an energy module. Cool. And there you go, as we keep going. But anyway, I think that gives us a good idea of how the game works, how I'm kind of making my decisions. Maybe I'm going a bit too quick with some choices. I should check the shop a bit more mid-combat and think about that. But I think the flow of the game is really smooth. In conclusion then, I do think the game has a lot going for it. It definitely appeals to the audience it's meant to, with new convenient mechanics like that mid-combat shop, but also sticking to the core of the genre. You know, card building, progression, and a wide array of builds and playstyles to try in a turn-based combat. To me, it's well worth a try if you're into this style of game, with its visual style and new mechanics, with the core of what these games are still all about. It's reviewing well on Steam to this day, and I must say I've enjoyed checking it out. Be sure to remember to use our links in the description if you do check out the game, so they know we sent you. But until next time, thanks for watching.